What would happen if Chief Keef went back to O Block? Would he get killed? Would he go to jail? But first, let's talk about how this whole thing started. Back in 2012, well-known and beloved rapper Chief Keef first began his career dropping the song titled Bang. He later went on to drop hit singles Love Sosa and Don't Like, putting himself and O Block on the map. Years later, things went for a rapid turn in Chief Keef's life. In 2013, rapper Lil Durk was arrested for a felony weapon charge while already out on bond for another felony weapon charge. Man, at this point, Durk just couldn't stay out of trouble. This charge landed him in Cook County Jail, where he was held on a $100,000 bond, which he only had to pay 10% of. However, Durk didn't have $10,000 cash on him at the moment, despite being signed to Def Jam Records. Durk then reached out to rapper Chief Keef for some assistance on his bond, but Chief Keef kept dodging these calls for help. While Durk was sitting behind bars trying to scrape up change for his bond, many rappers and gang members from OTF, Glow, 300, 600, and much more were all sending their condolences and showing Durk mad love online. However, Chief Keef didn't bulge. The only thing we got out of Keef during this situation was this one tweet saying "Only the Glow," #OTG, which is clearly him mocking Lil Durk's group Only the Family, or OTF. This tweet showed that he and Durk had something going on that we didn't know about. When Durk was released a month later, he made a few tweets, one including lyrics to a Chief Keef song, First Day Out, saying, "I'm back, yeah, I'm back. Did you miss me or you ain't care? I'm free. You would have been got killed if it wasn't for 300. Where you gonna spend it at? Cause you can't come around here with it, LOL. If you squad, why you ain't get T Slick or D Rose? You got a bigger deal, right?" Shout out to Lil Reese and Fredo Santana for being 100 and not foo-foo. Then he finishes his rant with, "Warning, I'm not Soulja Boy. This shit can get ugly." These were clearly subliminal messages thrown at Chief Keef. The very next day, Chief Keef replied with a tweet saying, "I just bought a new 4-wheeler for $10,000, which happened to be the same amount of cash Durk asked for to bond out. And I believe this tweet right here was probably the one that led to a physical altercation involving the rapper, but we'll talk about that in a minute. Later on, Chief Keef went on to say, "I'm nothing else. I'm O Block," and more tweets pretty much saying Durk was stunning for Twitter and he was not really about that life. Shortly after this feud, Chief Keef went back and forth to jail and rehab multiple times. On his last day of rehab, Chief Keef returned to his home where his neighborhood O Block was requesting that he pay $7,500 to bond out member Trey 5. Trey 5 had been sitting in jail for about 2 years and some change by then and was granted a bond of $250,000, and again, only 10% of that had to be paid in cash. So out of the $25,000, O Block said they already raised $18,000 and was only asking Chief Keef to cover the $7,500 difference. Keef acted like the money was nothing to him, as he claims he spent that on clothes and shoes. Later on, they pressed Keef about the money as he was stalling, and he claimed he threw it all in the club and wasn't going to give them any. About a year later, in early 2014, Chief Keef was attending a court date regarding one of his cases when some well-known O Block and THL 46 members broke into a house that he and his manager Uncle Ro were renting at the time. They went through everything, and I mean everything. These guys stole Chief Keef's clothes, shoes, bags, laundry detergent, deodorant, and even his daughter's diapers. Then when Keef made it back home, one of the O Block members, Bosstop, snatched his chain, and another member, OJ, snatched GBE Capo, Chief Keef's cousin, chain. During this entire altercation, one of Chief Keef's associates, Terrence Smith, was shot, and the O Block member stole and fled in Chief Keef's Grand Cherokee. Once Keef and his group took Terrence to the hospital, they were questioned about the situation, but nobody snitched. However, the police already had an idea on who it was. They were already building cases on members of the O Block, including Bosstop, claiming that they were involved in the internal BD gang beef leading to the home invasion / attempted murder of Terrence Smith. And they also took note of Chief Keef's stolen Jeep. And the story only gets crazier from here because Chief Keef came back months later tweeting, "I clothe you, B. Put money in your lint ball pockets." Then following with, "I tried to glow you up. See, it worked. You don't look dirty no more." And then he says how he's nothing like the guys he grew up with in O Block. He says they were dirty and he was giving them clothes and money, almost treating them as they were homeless. Then he went on to list some of the items that were stolen from him. Folks, they stole KK clothes out of her room, detergent, deodorant, and all on Bloods. They stretched that alright. Keef then went on to list even more items. Moncler's, earrings, Robins, Trues, Gucci bags, Pellies, Louis Vuitton coats. I can go on and on. But when I found out, I bought it again. He finishes his rant with, "I gave you the glow so you could eat, not try to compete, little dirty GD folks." About a month later, Chief Keef started his rant back up with a picture on Instagram that is now deleted, captioned, "Tyree Davis stole this too. Dirty ass boy stretch what?" Showing a chain that Bosstop allegedly stole from him. Bosstop replied on Twitter saying, "Put that on Big Keith or KK, I stole anything. Stop flexing, police. I bet you can't merch on his hype. I stole that." Following up with on BD saying, "My government police. You mad over that fake TV Johnny? Come get it back, I ain't steal that. NLNB was there. Keef then went on to diss his well-known producer Young Chop by posting a picture on Instagram that is also now deleted of some more items that were stolen during the home invasion. A few weeks passed and Lil Durk posted a video with a THF 46 member flaunting GBE Capo's chain and pointing to one of Chief Keef's music videos where he was wearing his chain that was previously stolen, saying, "We got that too." I can't lie, Durk was really a menace for that one. A couple weeks later, Chief Keef moved away from O Block all the way to Los Angeles, California, where he would live for the next 8 years and counting. Members of O Block have since then shot many tweets at Chief Keef taunting him for leaving the hood. What do y'all think will happen if Chief Keef ever returned to O Block? And make sure you hit that subscribe button before you go.